quest for a better life starts with a better mind. Welcome all to Improving Mindsets with your host Popoola Jadesola, your media literacy expert. So today we're just gonna dive in quickly because this video might be a long one, but I just love to be here with you people because education is something I'm very passionate about, and especially when it comes to media firms, how it's affecting us, how it's changing our mindsets, what we can do about it, how to get back on the right track, and a lot more to do with that. So basically, we're having a first for today, which is going to be a social co-viewing session. Now, I found out that while I try to educate people about media literacy, one thing that has been that has made my efforts quicker is using social co-viewing. And social co-viewing has been proved really to be the best way to impart media literacy skills, because then you are imbibing the media forum, you and the instructor, educator, and the student. No matter how old you are, you're still a student actually. Okay, so learning, watching this media forum, learning the intricacies within, learning how to detect the subliminal messaging, and a lot more to do with that, to be able to detect. Hello, and sorry for the breaking transmission. So like I said, education is something that's very important to me, and when it comes to education on media literacy, social co-viewing has proved to be the best way. So the purpose of all this negativity in the media messages, if you want to find out more about that, you can go to my other videos or visit my website at www.worldmedialiteracy.wordpress.com to find out more about media literacy and how it's affecting our society and how it can help our society. So basically, the point of the mass media messages causing this negativity is to change our mindset, basically, to change our views of the world, to make us imbibe this quite dysfunctional views of the world, and to see these views as normal, to desensitize us to violence, to desensitize us to a host of other unpalatable things, and not to mention the fact that we are in a spiritual world, whether we understand that or not, and that there is a God and there is an enemy, and the enemy is using his tools, the devil is using his tools to make us be more inclined towards things that displease God, be more inclined towards the things that will not profit us, because things that do not please God will not profit us at the end of the day, really. So, but a lot more people are being made to lose sight of that fact, and it's something that needs to be corrected. So I decided to have this social co-viewing session. Normally I would prefer a longer video because they embed a host of negative messages, and it is easier to explain the narration. But today we're going to be using a comedy skit that also has quite a number of negative messages embedded within it, so we can learn how to detect these messages bit by bit and to stop ourselves from getting so easily influenced by them. Okay, so now, before we start, I just want to make two things clear. There are two types of media messages. Okay, one is the manifest message and the other is the subliminal message, also called the latent message. Now, the manifest message is the obvious one, the one which you can easily detect. The most obvious example of that is an advert telling you what to buy and why you should buy these things. It's obvious. It's a manifest message. So the second one is a subliminal message, also called latent. Now, these messages are often sent to your subconscious, to your heart. Okay, so people imbibe these messages often on a subliminal level, on a subconscious level, and they're not aware of the fact that it's actually influencing their minds or their opinions. They just think that they're imbibing it on a neutral basis. Now, we have three types. The second thing I want to make clear is we have three types of intelligences, and this plays a role in how we actually receive these media messages. Now, we have the intelligence of the body. Your body is an intelligent, vibrant, living thing on intellectual thing on a cellular level. Then we have this heart, your heart is actually intelligent. A lot of people don't know this, but your heart has the ability to process and is even a stronger force in determining your outlook on life, so to speak, than your mind. Then you have the third one, your mind, which we all know about. So most of these media messages are sent to the heart, actually, because it has to do with influencing your emotions and your feelings towards a particular thing. Not necessarily changing how you look at it, but changing how you feel about it. So that is how they, target these media messages to our hearts, to our minds, often negative ones. Now, a media message, I mean, media on its own is, neutral. It's not good, it's not bad. But what makes a media message good or bad is the content within it, the messages embedded within it. That is what makes a media message either good or bad. And every media message is constructed, every media message has its own embedded values and points of view. Okay, so we need to understand this going forward. Now, this is a skit made by a popular person, Mr. Macaroni. We all know him. Now, this problem of media pervasiveness is a global problem. I can cite examples in American movies, just like in Nigerian movies also, just like I'm pretty sure European movies from the UK, France, multinational movies, because this is a global problem. Okay, so we are all being made to imbibe the wrong things. So we're going to play this skit from the beginning, and I'm going to be pausing them at different sections to explain certain things. So when okay, let's dive into it, then we'll explain on the way.
Are you there? So once again, let us specially welcome our father here for saying that today he wants to come and do fellowship with us. So in fact, he's supposed to be in Jerusalem with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So it's a great honor.
Next time I go to Jerusalem, please take me along.
You will have to be a pastor for us.
If it's that one, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Okay, so first you have the first subliminal message, right? Like I said, this is far more spiritual than it looks on the surface. On the surface, it just looks like people are becoming more morally bankrupt and more, have a tendency towards evil, are starting to do more and more bad things, like starting to like the wrong things. But it goes far deeper than that, It's a very spiritual warfare going on right now, actually. So we need to be aware of that. Now, look, this is a scene, right? The two people are talking. One person is a pastor, the other is Bayu, popularly known as Bayu, but is acting as a son in this skit. So, we're talking about being a pastor or not being a pastor, and you can hear what he said. He said, if it's that one, I'm not doing, because they want to make you imbibe this feeling of distancing yourself from anything that has to do with religion, because they want you to view religion as something that, or God, even the belief in God. Like I said, this is a global problem. So, they want you to view God as something or as an entity that does not exist. They want you to make you feel that you can just live your life anyhow you feel like it. They want the idea of God to seem archaic to you. That's how messed up they actually want people to be. So we need to be aware of this. Now, I'm stating, because I can detect these messages so easily, because this is my field, this is my vision to liberate minds through this. I will be stating, immediately what I pick and explaining it to you. But for you to start to understand this yourself, I will be uploading another video soon that will enable you to go through the processes of detecting these messages by yourself and the critical thinking questions that you need to start to ask yourself. It's something that becomes a part of you over time. This is a lifelong skill, actually. Something that, has tremendous benefits, because you need to be able to understand what these people are actually doing to your minds. Okay, right. So let's continue.
I only see you in church, but you, I don't see you often.
So I'll be bringing them stuff.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you. Yes. So, very quickly, the children of nowadays, they have spoiled this world. You need to go to internet. I don't use the internet because too much nonsense. It has turned to something else.
You know how clever these people are. And when I say clever, I don't mean just the actors and the actresses that you see in front. Okay, there are a lot more people in this than those you see on TV. Okay, you have the actors, the writers, the directors, those who are actually paying for the skits, those who have the outside influences. They are constructing these things intentionally, spending a lot of time on it just to deliver a particular message to your mind. Okay, now this one way that they're so clever but evil, not in a good way, actually in a negative way, but they are still clever because they're like evil geniuses, so to speak. They state what they're doing, like they state what's happening, knowing fully well that they are part of the perpetrators themselves. Like, you're stating the problem, but you are the cause of the problem. Like, so they do this to intentionally distract the mind of those who are watching from even noticing them as a problem, because they know that that's the effect that it achieves actually. So let's continue.
If I access it, I just look at it from afar. From afar,
It's true.
From afar. I keep my phone. Yes. If you
true.
stay too much there, they will corrupt your mind. So, what are you doing?
Yeah. So he just stated the fact of the matter, because, like I said, they're stating the problem, but they're also the cause. So they're stating what it will lead to, also knowing fully well that they're the cause. Like, so they're just like, they're just like evil geniuses, so to speak, but evil, like very evil. So he just said it, that if you stay too long there, it will corrupt your mind. He just said that. And that is exactly what it does. That's the end result of it. It corrupts your mind, makes you, like the worst version of yourself, imbibing all the wrong things, imbibing all the wrong mindsets, thinking that it's cool, thinking that it's trendy, but you're actually going down a fucked up path of life. So let's continue.
People that know the right thing to do. How are you living your life? Now, today, open with me to the book of Romans. Romans. Yeah. Open to the book of Romans 8:1. Daddy, yes, I want to bring out this one.
Oh, yes. Bayo. Bayo.
From there? From there? I don't know, man. From your tab. This guy that you're looking at, I said we will make a prayer for you. We pray for her. You are listening to pornography.
It's not my own, it's Daddy's tab.
Yeah. What do you mean? Who's Daddy's tab?
Daddy, what?
Daddy? No, me?
Daddy's your tab.
It's not my tab.
It's your tab.
No, sorry guys, but like these people, they hide their messages so cleverly, so funnily. Like that is part of the tactics actually. Even Douglas Rushkoff said it, that the more inane the forum, the more unsuspecting the audience. That is, the more it seems like it's something neutral, it's something fun, the more the higher the probability that they'll be able to send that message, because people are not aware, or they are not on guard at all, that they might actually be receiving a negative message. So very crucial point on that one. So, but what just happened now, you see, they just stated the problem, right? Which means if you stay on it too long, it will corrupt your mind. And then the very next act is to perpetrate yet another negative message. Is to perpetrate yet another wrong deed. Now, I would like to say something first, going further. That when it comes to delivering a negative subliminal message to your mind, the most important thing is the suggestion. Okay? They don't have to refer to it directly. All they have to do is implant the suggestion. And that is good enough. Because once it is a suggestion in your mind, that means you're thinking about it. So that means it has already delivered the effect. So we need to be aware of this. Now they are this is a pastoral scene. Now this is supposed to be a scene about teaching godly acts, right? And in the middle of it, they are talking about audio erotica and sexual scenes and all that. I remember it is all intentionally constructed. They sat down to write it and to state that this is exactly how it's going to go. These people have rehearsed this thing multiple times. They are intentionally sending these negative messages. Now, first it was with Motunde, the sexual moans and all that. So they implanted the suggestion that she was the one who, was involved in that. And then she now spoke and now said, no, it's not my tab, it's daddy's tab. You get? So already, sorry, they have successfully implanted the suggestion that it is hers, like she was involved in that. And then they now transferred the, blame or the notion of that wrong to another person, which is her dad, because they want to make make it seem like everybody is involved in it. So that is what they are doing actually, and you see a continual repetition of that, because like I said, they use reinforcement. Okay, so
What's tab for you now?
It's not my tab for me, it's your own.
It's your own.
That's your own.
Anybody's your own.
It's your own. This is where that noise is coming from.
No, this tab is very old. So it used to download app on its own. I don't think so, sir. This one is a new version. You just bought this one, sir. Just use that one and tell them about the audio erotica.
I don't know my app.
For my party app. This is that the one step. He forgets things easily. Let me help him. If you don't mind, may I? Okay, sir. See, this audio erotica. That's where you see freaky stories. If you read it like this. That's where daddy wants to sleep and wake up.
Daddy,
That's the shop.
that's why you're always in the toilet.
look at these guys, for God's sake. Like, they made this forum, right, look so okay. Let me just explain that to you. Let me dissect it. Now, you're talking about, this sexual forum. And Mr. Macaroni does subliminal advertising, actually. So, which means he advertises products using his, acting as well. So, that's what just happened now is an example of that. Using advertising audio erotica. I was actually paid to, input this into the scenes. But, the point of that is not only did they promote it, they also factored in a way to, for basically like a cheating husband or, a guy who likes to watch porn or something, to constantly do that, because by inserting the toilet, line. So like they are just, God. Look, media is an agent of socialization, okay? Media teaches you things. It teaches you things, whether you're aware of it or not. And most of the time, most of what they're sending is very, very negative. Most of what they're trying to normalize is very, very negative. I will not help you in any way if you imbibe them.
Sexual head. Will you stop this nonsense? You children of darkness and madness. What's this nonsense? It's all right. It's very, very all right.
You see that there's a reference to the spiritual side of it. You see that because they know that it's also spiritual. Like, even if you don't, like, they are aware of that fact. You get, even if the average person might choose to be ignorant of that.
To say I am very disappointed is just stating the obvious. No, this will not slide. I will not let it slide.
No, sir. Let me explain it. As a father figure, I cannot lie. We are preaching that we must always say the truth, and I will say the truth. Yes, I have that app. my body app. But this new feature, audio erotica, or whatever I call it, is a new feature. Automatic updates need to update automatically. Yes, that's true. No. I will not take it. And I will not allow sin to come into your family.
Amen.
Rather, I will fight it spiritually.
Amen.
Let somebody open to Hebrews 8.
Now, before we get to the end of this scene, one thing that, because like I said before, it is spiritual, you get. One thing that they constantly try to do in these movies and these skits is to make pastors and Christians look untrustworthy, especially pastors, because you know that a lot of people view pastors as, especially real Christians view pastors as people that go to and all that. You don't need pastors to access God anyways. Jesus has taken care of that, but you still need like spiritual guidance and like a shepherd and blah blah. So they really try to discredit pastors a lot. They try to discredit people of God in movies, in skits, in all these things. And remember, this is a global problem, because no matter what country you're from, you have to, you have a God. You were created by God. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what race you are. It doesn't matter. This is a global problem. Okay, so they try to, especially in American movies, they try to make Christians seem uptight, over religious, judgmental, and now they're trying to make pastors. Now this is not just, even in Nigerian skits also, like apart from American Christian movies and all that, apart from American movies, they try to discredit pastors a lot. So this scene that is going to be played now, this next scene, is just an example of that. How they try to discredit them and make them look untrustworthy. So let's continue.
No. Don't use your phones or tabs. Don't use anything. Don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use it. I'll use mine.
You see what
I do not trust your tabs anymore.
It's not like that, sir.
No. Hebrews 8. Wait. Sir, don't spoil it. Don't spoil your iPad. Sorry. It's only with your foot chest. Automatic update.
Now look.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who don't
make it seem that it is absolutely not important. I mean, like the pastor is a complete hypocrite. Like they try to paint him as a complete hypocrite. I remember that this is intentionally staged. This is like they intentionally set it to look like that. They rehearsed it over and over again like that. They wrote the script like that. They set everything intentionally like that. So you really need to start asking yourself these questions: that why intentionally construct all these things to send us such negative messages? People might not really view it as negative because they are being desensitized to it. They're starting to view negative things as normal, or sexualize things as normal. Because really, the devil does not care how you sin, just that you sin. So, and this whole path, this whole, you will see an increasing division. You will see most of the time, if you actually look at the trend, if you're observant, that most of the things that are becoming more and more popular are things that go directly against what the Word of God says. If you are actually observant, you will notice that. You will see more and more things that are becoming worldwide. Now this is a global problem. I've noticed a lot of people are very small-minded when they're thinking about their lives, very myopic. The world is bigger than your tribe, is bigger than your country. There are a lot more people in this world than where you're from, or your village or whatever. So like this is a global problem. So you need to be aware. Like constantly you see that the popular trends are more and more things that the Bible goes against, and God does not want, that will not even profit you, because at the end of the day you have to give account to God whether you like it or not. And he is a loving father, yes, and if you obey his will, he will do good by you, but he's not going to change his ways because of one person. So the earlier you realize that it is a spiritual world, the better it will be. At least we have a conscience. We all have a conscience. We can tell good from bad. We should be able to have that knowledge. So I hope that we have gained some knowledge concerning how these messages are sent. This is my deductions, my very accurate deductions, if I might add, concerning this. And so to guide you to be able to start to become media literate on your own, like I said before, I will be uploading, a video next week again, to educate you and to take you through some of the critical thinking questions that you need to ask whenever you are dissecting a media piece. Okay, so this is Popoola Jadesola from improving mindsets for you, for me, for every single one of us. So have a wonderful day, people. Take care.